spots there. And they rock my world, you know, really, really good ones. So
now you go for us.
But now I'm going to expand out. Oh, I didn't even tell you. So one night we're on the beach. We're having, you know, some cocktails and some ceviche.
This is recently. This is your last
Yeah,
trip,
this is
right?
on my last trip. And all these people start gathering on the beach. And we're like, what's going on out there? And this server who actually remembered Emily and I from 6 months ago when we went down there, because we were the gringos who told him, no, we don't want coconut crunchy shrimp. We want the octopus. We want the octopus cocktail. And we know it's not going to come with, you know, shrimp cocktail sauce. We knew what we wanted, and he couldn't believe that we did. Anyway, so he remembers us, and he says, oh, it's the turtle time. So sure shit, an ancient freaking female turtle comes crawling up the beach like it's on its last legs, lays like 130 eggs.
What, right in front of you?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Covers it all up, heads back to the water.
That's what they do.
I mean, yeah, but it was so good. It was so cool to see it in life instead of have it come to us through some sort of a documentary.
And those eggs are protected by the government.
Yes, they are. The government was there.
They usually people will dig them out and cook them and eat them. Mm-hmm. And now it's
They steal the turtle eggs?
You go to jail. Yeah,
That's right.
They say that tastes very,
crime,
very
right?
good. Yeah.
Really?
But the government was there to protect the laying,
protect
and then they're
the-
going to take the eggs and incubate them and
Yes.
the whole thing. It was so cool to learn about
I wish
that.
they protect the children at some point, but let's not get there.
That's a podcast
Damn.
for a different
That's
time.
wow.
This is a whole different show than I
Which
thought it was
takes us
going to
into
be.
our next topic.
Digital
Tech.
assistants?
Yeah, right.
I wish they protect the children as well as they protect the
If they
turtle
protect
eggs.
your kids,
but
yeah.
whatever.
All right, let's just get this.
But that's
thing
cool. That's
going.
like Planet Earth in real life. You know.
Yeah, it was like
With
Planet Earth in
with
real life.
octopus cocktails.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how everyone dreams it up.
I want to ask what an octopus
We're not
cocktail
live.
is.
We're not live, right?
Oh yeah, we're live.
Oh,
all
we're
of that
already
was
live.
all of that was
Oh, this whole
broadcast.
thing? Oh, my
Everybody just heard about
goodness.
the
the classic. We're not live,
Maybe
right?
they're not gonna
Exactly.
let me enter Mexico next time I go.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Trends with Benefits. This is our weekly Roundtable Tech podcast where we talk about the trending tech topics of the day and all kinds of other things, including apparently turtle eggs. So we've got a lot to get to. And we're broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube in addition to being a podcast. And one of the first things we're going to talk about today after we get to our cast of characters is talking about Amazon announcing that they have a whole new push to bring Alexa to your businesses. You are never ever going to be able to escape Alexa. And one of the things I wanted to know is just, I was curious about is what your favorite digital assistant is that you use. Which one do you use if you use any? Maybe you're somebody who still hasn't adopted to them, but I mean, there's Siri, Alexa, Google, Cortana. I don't know anybody that uses Cortana really, but maybe there's somebody out there, you know, who does.
Cortana's sort of the redheaded stepchild of the digital assistant age. You know, it's there,
Right.
and you ignore it just like you ignore the Edge browser. It's marginalized, you know.
Yeah. Somebody did bring up already in the live chat that little paperclip dude from Microsoft Office. That's their favorite digital assistant.
Oh yeah,
Good call.
I remember that.
All right, well let's get to our cast characters, and then they're gonna talk about this, and please drop in your comments, your questions. I'm Greg Nibler, and to my right,
Rick Stella, outdoor editor for DT.
and a very special
Yes.
guest appearance here.
Thank you. First time.
First time.
Here, my name is Juan Garcia, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Digital Trends en Español, so Spanish. So we're going to talk a little Spanish. We already did. We talk Mexico.
First time
But-
host,
but,
long time listener, right?
Yeah. Good one.
Looked up for
Were
a
you
second.
working ready before? You
Yeah,
working
something
ready
like
before? Okay.
The Whiskey Mist. Back in the house after a little bit of time in Mexico. Missed you guys.
You did chime in though.
Oh,
after
I
a few
did.
cocktails.
Yes,
I saw.
I was a few margaritas deep, and I was standing on the balcony in my hotel, and I was just like, "Oh, it's Digital Trends with Benefits right now. I'm going to go ahead and pipe in," and I did. I had a fun time. I'm sorry if I insulted
Did you
anybody.
call or just commenting on the...
No, I was just commenting on the
Okay.
live
like
video.
I do most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Commenting on my Boston hat I wear sometimes, or usually something.
That's right. You two guys have a pretty fun, friendly rivalry, like in a number of different sports.
We're Red Sox fans just on the
we,
surface.
We
That's
promise not to
we
talk
promise not
about
to just
talk
talk
about
about
sports,
this.
but thank you
But yeah.
for bringing that up.
But yeah, I'm an Eagles fan. He's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Liverpool soccer fan. He's a Chelsea fan. So there is a lot of tension.
But we have
there.
one in common.
We have one thing in
One in
common.
common.
Boston Red
Well,
Sox.
Boston
just
Red Sox.
as it is with sports in tech, we can all have very differing opinions
Yes.
and still be friends. Isn't that nice?
See, look at
What
that.
a wonderful
Bringing the
we find a way
room
to
back
get
together.
along.
That was my Mr. Rogers Rogers moment
Good.
for
You
Chase.
tore it apart. Stitched
You
it
got
back
the sweater
very
on.
clean. Yeah, you
It's
got the
good.
sweater
Yeah.
on. Come on in.
I think everybody knows that I'm an Apple person, right? I mean,
Yes.
I think we're all Apple
fruit,
people. Yeah.
and not the fruit.
Not the fruit. I don't prefer oranges. No, I
Yeah,
think we're all Apple
all
people.
right.
Except for maybe Greg, but yeah.
Poor Greg.
Oh, no, that's good. This is-
Herd these cats,
That's how
buddy.
it's-
That's
how
our
it's gonna
job.
go. I know. I should have brought tequila in. That's what we should have done. All right. So Alexa at work. This is what Amazon is talking about. They want to integrate it into your offices, and really, I mean, Amazon. They've got to be winning it. I would think, as far as digital assistants. Do you think Siri over Alexa? I mean, it's really hard to.
I'll tell you what I thought about this before the podcast, and
Yeah.
I think that it's still developing. Like these things are relatively new, and it's too soon to call a winner.
Yeah.
B, I think that OK Google or Google Assistant versus Alexa is like today's iPhone versus Samsung Galaxy.
Okay.
Two titans in the space with some competition out there from some others, but two titans in the space going head to head, constantly at battle for the consumer's attention.
Yeah.
And is one convincingly better than the other? No, they're both great. They both do different things very well. They speak to different audiences, and we should all throw up our hands in praise because it's this kind of competition that drives innovation and pushes this tech forward. So
I gotta be honest. I'm not a big Alexa user.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever use it honestly, but the Google Assistant, yeah, I have it. I have several at home. I mean, it helps my son do the homework. I think it's great. Better. He's going to be talking Spanish pretty soon, or maybe already is.
Just starting,
I'm
yeah.
not sure. I think in the Pixel phone or something, they're very.
They've got a Spanish
They
version.
understand one thing important. Google Assistant understands in Spanish, so I can ask a question in Spanish.
it's just replying in English right now.
Reply in English.
Huh.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
But understands
Yeah, yeah.
Spanish. You can talk Spanish to the Google Assistants, and most of the time it works really, really, really well.
To
Does
Juan's point,
Alexa-
I mean,
does
I'm
Alexa
sorry.
work with Spanish?
No,
It doesn't. Okay.
not yet.
Probably not.
To Juan's point, I think that Google has the intelligence muscle right now.
Exactly.
Because I mean, they are the internet practically right now.
Right.
They can gather tons of different information. They're very consumer facing, and they're directly connected with the consumer on the internet and intelligence level. Right.
Yeah.
Amazon, on the other hand, has a wealth of information on its own. Their web services, they are the backbone in many cases for the images and the videos that you watch,
Including
and
digital
see.
trends.
Including digital trends.
I mean,
right?
so many websites.
Amazon has
People
its,
don't know that.
its
Yeah.
cadre of intelligence, and they're also a very powerful company in their own right. They were also first with something like Alexa, which went well beyond what Siri does, and really brought this to the forefront. Plus, they've been open since the get-go, so a lot of people jumped on board with them early, and they will probably retain a lot of those partnerships. So from a business standpoint, Amazon is super powerful too.
And I'm a big Amazon user. I mean, I use it for
Me
everything.
too.
We have Amazon Prime in Dallas, which I live in Dallas, and we have Amazon Prime Now.
That's
sorry,
right, yeah.
Now, where you order groceries mainly, and you get it in 2 hours in your house. So I'm a big Amazon user.
Which
big
I would
fan.
totally use if they had that here in
They
Portland.
don't have
Oh
it
my
here?
God.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
not yet.
Sorry. But
Yeah.
Alexa, I
Toilet
don't know.
paper, yes. Tomatoes, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
We're
that is
almost
a big
there.
thing just because Alexa was first. When we were at CES last year, now almost a year ago, but I mean, Alexa was almost in everything we saw.
Here's one last thought on the whole thing, and there are certain things I can't say because under non-disclosure ahead of
Sure.
CES. But I have seen some things happening. I know some stuff that's going to be
seen
going down
things.
at CES, and
Seen
I
things,
will
man.
and I will just say this: Google has some big stuff in store. Some big partnerships are coming.
You will tell me after the show, right?
Yeah, I'll totally
Okay.
tell you.
But they have momentum. Like they're gonna.
They are going to make some big moves, and so
I mean, they kind of have to.
Yeah.
With especially, I mean, like this Amazon push into businesses, this could be huge. If they start getting small businesses, offices, all incorporating that in, you've already got it at home. I mean, even people that don't have it, they're exposed to it now at work, and so
Yep.
they start getting used to it. They go buy one. I mean, it's
How much adoption they will have? I don't know. I mean, how many companies will get behind that and say, "Yeah,
I don't know, but-
let's do Alexa in the workplace."
Well, but on the consumer level, I mean, I think it was the Echo Dot was driving Amazon's success for Cyber Week. Like,
Yeah.
that device is going gangbusters for
Well,
them.
and they dropped the price so low
Yeah.
during that. I think it was like $29 or something like that. I mean,
Even if it starts as a novelty, like, ooh, isn't this cool? Like, when it becomes a tool, then it becomes a part of your life. And when it becomes a part of your life, you want, the same amenities you have at home, you have at work. Like, food, kitchens, blah, blah, blah. Things that were never in the workplace before are now here because we're kind of bringing our home comforts into our workplace. And I think Alexa could do the same.
Are we going to say, Alexa, read me my email? Is something
I would love
like
Alexa.
that?
Yeah.
Alexa, read me my meeting schedule today.
Yeah, that would be good.
By the way,
Google
everybody's-
Assistants can do that. by the way.
everybody's echoes are going off right now while you're saying that. But
That happened to me at home.
Okay,
I was
Google,
watching
yeah.
a TV show, and it was an Alexa command, and sure enough, it set off my. They got to do
Oh
something
yeah,
about
when,
that.
when Google, the Google Assistant is the same way. When they have the commercial for
The Super Bowl commercial was one that was huge, and it was
Yeah,
like
that
it
was
was
the
like
first
actually
time-
ordering something from people, or it was like just setting them off like crazy.
It
and that
woke
was the
a
big
bunch of people
story.
up.
Yeah,
yeah.
the
Was
best example of that was the South Park episode. Have
Yeah.
you seen that?
No.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
They did an entire one just on Alexa and sending it commands. And I turned mine on and watched the episode, and it was repeating back what I'm not going to say here, but it was awesome. It was hilarious.
That's brilliant.
So
Yeah.
so maybe if we're bringing Alexa into the workplace, it's spreading like wildfire through consumer homes and everything. Maybe the next big step for them, instead of just growing it and sending it out and making and just generally letting it answer more questions, maybe they need to like tighten the wake word thing down a little bit. Right now, we're all about being able to say Alexa or OK Google, but I just set off a ton of people's different devices over there. If they're listening, how are they going to fix that? Like, I don't want my digital assistant being woken up constantly, false starts, by people who are not me. There is voice recognition.
Yeah.
We tested this,
Yeah.
in the Google, right? In Google Home, right? Or
Right.
was it the Alexa? Which one
Well,
was
it started with Google,
Okay.
the Google Home speakers.
Yeah.
But initially, the voice recognition was to make sure that you couldn't walk into my home and order something on my speaker.
Right.
But you can still wake the device up and ask it a question.
Okay.
You can interact with it. I'm starting to think, well, maybe we need to put it on full lockdown.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that only my voice or those in my family wake the device up, and
expand
that's
the
it.
encryption, yeah,
And
right.
on a side note, I read somewhere that less and less people are naming their kids Alexa.
Yeah, I bet.
Because it would be a terrible name to have right now.
Well,
Alexa.
there is an Alexa in the office right now, so I'm sorry.
It used to be
Yeah.
an Alexa in the office, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyways,
whoops. Okay.
Moving on.
we'll edit that out.
We'll keep on
You
going
can fix
here.
it in post,
Fix
right?
that in
Isn't
post.
is
Two
that-
at a
yeah.
time. Two
We're
at
a
a time.
podcast. This is what you get when you watch live.
I'm on fire. I'm on fire.
All right. Well, speaking of Amazon, though, and you were talking about Amazon Prime Delivery, one of the things that Amazon is, obviously, we all know this, that they're trying to do is institute drone deliveries. And they've been doing all kinds of testing with it. And eventually they're going to get it to happen. And they have to work with the FAA for it. But one of the big issues is what happens to the drones if they malfunction while they're flying over a bunch of people, which is clearly going to happen at some point. And one of the proposals that Amazon has is a patent for a disintegrating drone that would be able to understand that it is malfunctioning and be able to guide itself and start disassembling, like fragment in the air, to where when it falls down, it's not going to hurt somebody. This is one
Is
of their
that
ideas.
better?
Exactly. Well, I mean, the one thing I was thinking is, okay, that's an interesting idea. How that's actually going to be implemented, I don't know. If it's already malfunctioning, is it going to know it's malfunctioning and be able to disintegrate?
Patent is funny because they are labeling with numbers the various parts of the drone, and then there's just like one number that's pointing at the buildings, like number 170. Like these are skyscrapers that they did to put that on like the actual like schematic of the thing.
I don't know why, but this reminds me of a bird, like a seagull, that is like suddenly realizes it has diarrhea and is crapping all over everything, and just like, decides, you know what, I don't deserve to live anymore, and throws itself to the ground.
Goodbye, world.
No more
Die,
diarrhea bird. I mean, really, with the drones, maybe dropping the packages on people, maybe like running out of juice, or what? What is going on right now?
I don't know how
This is one of the things that, and it's how they're trying to get around some of the FAA regulations.
I think they have way too much money and way too much
That's
things
true.
to think about this kinds of stuff that they may never be, real.
Let's just say that some employees at Amazon are having a lot more fun than others.
Just coming up with crazy ideas. I don't know how this fixes it, though.
How was the meeting going on for
that?
that? Oh, let's make a drone that, explodes himself and,
Like, what if it could disintegrate?
Yeah,
man?
what is it? Oh, that's a good idea. Let's put a patent on it. Nobody will steal our idea.
I got an idea, man.
Yeah, you're the one DJI.
They are based in Seattle.
They are, yeah. It is
They need
legal.
to stop losing packages first, period. Like whether it's a human or a drone. I just, I ordered, anecdotally, a couple of items for my daughter's birthday. I ordered them just in time for them to arrive for her actual birthday party. 2 days, they should have arrived before her birthday party. They did not. 3 days, they were like, yeah, it seems to be lost, but let's wait 3 days and see what happens, Whereas if you're talking, and this was an Amazon delivery service, not UPS, not USPS, or FedEx, right? So Amazon's own in-house delivery service lacks the tracking to explain these mysterious disappearances.
Yeah.
They still haven't figured out what's going on. And I had to wait 3 or 4 days to get online with them and chat and say, listen, I want a refund now, whether you see these things or not, because they're not here. Give me a refund now, and I want you to replace the order, and I want you to overnight ship it and not charge me for any shipping at all. And they did it.
They do that, yeah.
They will. And to their credit, they did all that. But I had to do all the work, and still nobody knows where that merchandise is.
It's just gone.
They're the ones who are out money. I'm frustrated. Like, fix that. And then we can talk about, like, if the drones somehow are more accountable or lose stuff less, that's great.
Right.
Go for the drone solution. Otherwise, turn your attention towards just tightening up your business and reducing those human-related errors.
Well, I mean, maybe that's part of it. If you have an automated drone delivery system in a city, you would think that
but what
would
if the little
reduce-
drone claws drop it? Does the drone
Yeah.
know it dropped the package? Does it know where it dropped the package? And is there a recovery drone that's going to swoop in to go retrieve
Yeah.
the package?
Right. And now they want to let people into your house.
I say we just go
Right.
back to storks. Let's just
Back
get,
to storks.
Yeah, like the Flintstones.
Yeah,
Let's
right,
have
right.
the storks just
In a basket. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just
Sure.
put it in their jowls and go.
Right. A series
But
of
then we get back to your bird dilemma.
You're right.
Yeah.
And it all
Forget what we do.
around.
You forget I said anything at all.
tie-in.
Everything together.
Yeah,
it all works.
Everything tied together.
All right, well, that is one of the things that Amazon is proposing to possibly handle drones that go amiss or something goes wrong with them in the field. Let's go on. We've got a couple of other random topics that we're going to get to, and I wanted to bring this up because I think it's cool. Juan was already saying how dumb he thinks it is before we get started, and it's a random use of technology to, I think, as the more tech that we have, the more humans are going to start incorporating it into their everyday lives as far as physically. And this is one of those examples. It's a set of 3D printed bionic hands that you can use.
This is so hilarious.
From a company called Arduino, something like that. Probably not pronouncing it correctly. But anyway, they came up with this. And you can actually buy the printing plans for it. You can buy the digital plans or you can buy the actual device. And it straps onto your forearm. You control it using your actual hand, but then you have 2 separate giant robotic hands that are on the side that you can control each one separately with different motions. And ostensibly, you can lift things with it, probably lift more things than you can with your regular hand. And this is what they've come up with. I think it looks cool.
It does. I'll say this, just from watching that video, the one problem is you can only slowly close and slowly open. Like, you can't actually control the fingers separately.
How much is this stuff? Do we know?
It is. You can buy one now from Bionic for $2,100.
It's actually way more expensive than I thought for something that's 3D printed, but you're paying
But
for the electronics.
$58 for the wrist supports digital files. I assume that's the printing files. I guess I'm not 100% on that. But
Buying
Where
the
do the
electronics?
actuators come from? Like
That's
the actual
true.
motors and the sensors. Where's that stuff coming from?
good question.
Because that's not 3D
Yeah, I don't know what
printed
the
either.
$58
So they're just 3D printing
thing-
like the module, and then you.
maybe it's the digital file so you can program it yourself. or
Correct me
something
if
like
I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've seen videos out there where there are actual prosthetics that can go onto somebody's arm who's lost a portion of their arm that can slide on and give them actual functionality and mobility.
I'm all for that.
And
All for
single
that.
and
functionality.
yes,
Yeah.
and fast
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
moves.
It's 1-to-1. Yeah.
That's
I'm
tech
on
we
board.
want. That's tech we
Exactly.
need. All right.
There was the guy. I was a few years ago. I think it was like Metal Gear Solid had come out, and he was like a huge Metal Gear Solid fan, and like they made him one of the Konami made him like an arm that he could use, was like the guys in like the main game. But yeah, his was like fully responsive, and you could move each individual finger.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm all for that. But this just looks.
But the two hands thing, I get it. But like, if you can't move the individual fingers, like,
what
you
is the
can only
purpose?
close.
What are you going to use it for?
To lift something, but
three
you still need your own
Starbucks cups at the same time, or what? I mean, no.
Well,
In
I mean,
America, maybe.
They've got some ideas for that, and let me clarify. So
I've
I
got
just
some
double
ideas
checked
for that too.
Okay.
So it's
The Whiskey Mist always has an idea. There's a number of situations where two hands is definitely better than one, but not this thing. Not this thing.
We're
I'm
playing
sorry.
Two trumpets, guys.
Hey,
yeah.
Calm down. Yeah.
Two trumpets,
at once.
or a
Yeah.
trumpet and trombone.
But
Exactly.
you have only one mouth.
Rusty what?
I can actually play two trumpets at once off different sides of my mouth.
Oh, okay.
I'll show it to you sometime.
My-
Musical ventriloquist
My
over here.
bad.
Like,
Maybe I need
I
to
don't
show
know
you
what is
that at
happening
the
with this
holiday
show.
party tonight. Right now.
you can play two trumpets. Like if someone's watching this on mute, they're like, "What is Caleb doing?" On the other side of my mouth. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Greg. You were saying something relevant about
Holy shit.
dual bionic
We're
now
hands.
I want to
track.
know about the two trumpets at the
Yeah,
same
right.
time.
Somebody get this man two trumpets. We need to see this on air.
We've got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, right.
I can play tequila. Actually, I can
On either-
in harmony. On both. Yep.
Okay.
I don't even think we
I
need
used to-
Fire up the 3D printers. We need two
I used
trumpets.
to work at Who's Song Larry's Mexican restaurant, and that's how I made all my money. I was like, I would schlep the nachos and the chimichangas, but I really made the bank when I whipped out the dual trumpet and did that stuff in front of my guests. It was great.
I feel like it's like Caleb's just blurting like unfiltered show. Like that's what we're doing. Like, I saw a turtle give eggs.
And he's drinking
I
tea.
saw a turtle lay
I
eggs.
used to play two trumpets at once. And Who's Talking Larry?
I had
He's
chimichanga. I had an
drinking tea.
octopus
He's
cocktail.
I like
only
chimichangas.
drinking tea. You
It's
know.
the
He's only
honest,
drinking
it's
tea.
the
the
honest
honest
tea,
tea
yeah.
coming right out.
Beach
Yeah.
tea. It's the beach tea talking, I believe.
Yes, he's out of control. All right, to clarify really quick, Bionic makes the Bionic Hands,
Okay.
and they are powered by Arduino. So they're the ones that
Arduino
actually have
chipset,
the
yeah.
Don't need
motor
it.
side.
Sorry, I'm in on this whole like, do we need it? Does it help somebody? Does it enrich their life trip? And this does none of those three things.
I think they're.
It's flashy and cool and like on its surface, like, oh, cool. And then you look into it a little bit like we're doing. It's like, well, we don't really need this for anything.
I would say
Yeah.
what's it
Yeah.
leading to,
Yeah.
except for we already know there's really good bionic hands out there for people who are disabled, missing limbs.
that are
Well-
more efficient and stronger. Like,
Yeah. Well, he is saying that this device is the first prototype and exists to build the foundations for a future in which machines and humans will be fused together.
Oh,
Nope. So,
tear that shit apart, put that away.
That's
That's,
supposed
not
to-
something you say. Like,
No.
burn it. That just freaks everybody out.
all right. Well, you can check that out at digitaltrends.com. Take a
you
look at
realize
that.
we just crushed somebody's dream. Like
That's
there's
the
a guy
ultimate.
out
Yeah.
But
there.
he's
Like
the
a-
ultimate doomsday
I
prepper.
was
You
the
know,
guy
like
ready to order that thing. and
Yeah.
it was
I think it's awesome. I
the
want it.
rise of the machines.
I
They
claim
wanna
no
send one to test.
responsibility for any lives that may have been irreparably harmed by this podcast.
You're right. The trends with benefits alters the market a lot.
The mental
the needle.
damage,
Yeah,
that's just on
absolutely.
you. The imagery you're
Yeah.
thinking of right now. I want one, so go ahead and send it in, you Bionic. I will test it out. I will test out the double Bionic arm and figure out a use for it. Okay,
Next podcast, you're holding 4 microphones.
can podcast
I
twice
got
as
you.
much. All right, we are going to talk about the DT gift guide here at the end, but I did want to bring up something else that is an innovation we think. Because I'm seeing this all over the place right now, and you probably have seen it trending.
favorite
Somebody
digital
sharing
assistant,
it.
yeah.
Favorite digital assistant ever to get back to this. And it's one supposedly from Jim Beam. And Jim Beam has come out with a series of, a commercial showcasing a smart device that has a speaker on it that will also pour you a shot of whiskey on command. And it's got the voice to it is supposedly one of the head distillers. And it's this guy with a southern accent that's always, it's time for a shot of whiskey.
Yes, Jim.
Yeah.
I'll pour you some whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. And so you can have it pour you a shot of whiskey whenever you want.
Hold on a
Now
second.
that's a great idea.
now,
That
Siri,
is a great
get
idea.
me drunk.
That is a great idea. I have to say.
We need to bring one of these in.
Designated driver. You'd better find someone else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Siri is
She, like,
not
call you an
interested.
Uber?
Seriously, not
Yeah.
interested.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: like it's being shown all over these different sites, but nobody knows 100% if it's real or not. It
I hope
shows
it
that it's
is.
for sale on the Jim Beam website. It also says out of stock. However, I just talked to Sam from the Manual, who's our spirits editor, and he just said I'm on the press waiting list for one. So he supposedly they are
That's
going to be getting
Okay.
one.
Which that's fishy though. The press waiting list. Usually
Yeah.
they're just like, yeah, we'll send you one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
Unless
I
that's-
can't imagine how many
I mean, as the whiskey mist, I would
entire
think this is-
minutes of my life I have wasted
Pouring whiskey?
pouring whiskey
Okay.
myself when I could have been like, washing the dishes and having it poured for me.
Right.
Playing two trumpets to entertain your
multitask.
house guests while it pours you whiskey.
Exactly.
Think of the possibilities.
You need a tequila for that, actually.
Yeah.
Tequila pouring. But I guess other brands.
I mean,
will
right
come
now,
out.
Yeah, right,
I just
yeah.
have my 9-year-old daughter do it. But if I could have a robot do it instead, wouldn't that be great?
We need a Hornitos one.
Sorry, Jasmine.
Yeah.
Man.
Listen, I know she's going to be a great bartender when she grows up.
I didn't need to drink. I didn't need to drink. Come on.
Daddy whiskey mist.
I already
Oh, God.
submitted her application to Coyote Ugly. It's done.
I'm just going to get a highlight reel. of
Is that still a thing? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah,
In
maybe.
New York, I believe they have one.
Yeah, they
Not
do.
the-
You're
not-
right.
not the
Oh
one
my
in
gosh,
New
you're
York.
not joking. They're totally
We're
is.
going to stay there.
It's hard for me to leave the Circle Bar at the New York, but that's neither here nor
yeah,
there.
I know.
Now you
Anyway,
guys are staying there.
a robot pouring whiskey is not a terrible idea.
No, I like
And
it.
people,
I love it.
People will snatch this up just for the novelty of it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. So I want one also.
Yes, me too.
Maybe we can get on the
Maybe-
process. I
maybe
want
we
everything
can-
that we
maybe
talked
they
about.
can get-
really stoked about today's show.
yeah.
They can
I
put
mix
us on the press waiting list, maybe we talk to Sam.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'll
Put
see if
that
Sam
tech
put me
in
on
a
it, too.
Jaegerator, and then you got something.
That's where it's at.
You have
Jaeger.
just Jaeger bombs, and then it pours you Jaeger
I
bombs.
wonder if the artificial intelligence is able to sort of decipher your drunk slush mouth. Like,
Yeah.
pour me a glass of whiskey. Is it going to understand that? Or
your 9-year-old's voice.
Yeah.
What if teenagers are like getting in? They get into the stash anyways, and they're asking.
They're
to
not
pour
going to
them
go
drinks.
into that trouble.
Yeah.
They just take the bottle and put it in and drink it.
They show it off for their friends, though. You know.
Yeah.
they're putting it in their little cell phone flask. Looks like a cell phone, acts
Right.
like a flask. That's what
Yep.
they're doing.
Yep.
Crazy
That's
But
kids.
it's
exactly
slurred
what's happening.
speech. Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying. Just pour me some damn whiskey. What else would I be asking you to do?
You know, I got to say, though, I mean, these are interesting products, but they're not exactly the best products we've seen this year, are they?
They
This
aren't.
is a marketing tool, I guess,
what
for Jim Beam. I mean, not really going to change
They
the
don't think
world.
so. They aren't necessarily the product of the year. Is that
No,
what
I
you're
mean,
saying?
if only there was a place you could go to see where the best products of the year are all at one time.
like the best computing products, the
Like-
best entertainment products, like
or
the best-
even the home theater stuff. I mean, it'd be
Yeah.
great if you're shopping for tech enthusiasts.
Yeah,
This is so clunky.
for Christmas. Say for instance, there's an artist in your life. You know.
Boy, where would I go to find out what kind of tech products would be good for them?
DT has a holiday gift guide this year.
Oh my goodness!
Get right out of town.
Digitaltrends.com.
I just saw it at Digital Trends. Oh, here's we're
Look at
running
that.
the
That's
promo
pretty-
for it right now.
Yeah.
All
See,
right,
if you know an
let's-
artist, maybe you know somebody who likes to lift weights.
I think we have to go drink tequila after this show. So
We will.
right
We
now-
will.
a fitness buff. Maybe someone who likes to
Why would
cook.
that pot have a griddle setting?
So what I'm bringing it up.
Did Jake boil water to make himself a cucumber water?
I think he did.
Exactly. So we're playing a video right now. It's for the Digital Trends Holiday
Yes.
Gift Guide, which the
Oh,
video is
Thursday,
actually
yeah.
awesome.
They
You
did a
can check that out,
kick-ass job. Yeah, this is
digitaltrends.com.
rad.
And there are a lot of good things on here. So it's a holiday gift guide for whoever in your life, that you want to buy something for, and whatever price level. There's all kinds of different items on here. It is a wonderful site to go to find your holiday
Digitaltrends.com,
gifts.
yeah.
Yes,
And I will say, probably
digitaltrends.com.
90% of this stuff we've used this year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why we're recommending it, obviously.
What's one? Did you recommend one thing in particular on here?
I didn't write part of the gift guide, but I know the Fitbit Ionic is on there for like
Yeah.
the sports buff. It's a really cool this thing called the Smart Halo. You can attach to your bike to make your bike like a smart bike if it's just an
What about
ordinary
that
bike.
BioLite thing?
Well, that's in our product of the year, the BioLite camp stove, or sorry, the fire pit. Yeah, that doesn't come out till next year, even though we saw it this year and used it. But yeah, BioLite's fire pit, that's on our product of the year page.
Yeah.
And that thing is rad. It's like having a portable bonfire everywhere you go that's part barbecue, part bonfire. You can use charcoal, you can use wood.
I keep
Okay,
forgetting
that's pretty
our
awesome.
product
Yeah.
of the year guide isn't out. Like we were joking with like the fake setup or the transition,
gift guide, yeah, yeah.
but the fact of the matter is we do have a really great gift guide, and we also have a list of the best products of the year coming
Coming out
out
next
on
week.
Wednesday.
Yep.
Wednesday of next week, the day before you'll hear this podcast. Definitely go check that out. If you want to know what the best home theater products are, the very best TV, all that good stuff, that's coming out on Wednesday.
Awesome.
And I need to plug in also that
Absolutely.
next week we're gonna have a holiday gift guide in Espanol.
Nice.
In our side, it probably won't be as cool as the one in English because let's just say our budget is a little low there for that.
Sliding in.
But
Creative juices.
yeah, I mean for Spanish speaker that they're listening or seeing us, yeah, we will have one next week, probably by Thursday of next week. We'll launch our Guía de Regalos de Navidad.
There we go.
There you go.
Nice.
Sounds so much better when you
Right
say
out
it.
from- I was
When
gonna
I try
say
to
that.
say that.
Yeah.
Come on, say it.
I wasn't. I'll leave it to the professionals.
I'm all about the Navidad.
Well, the bottom line is go to digitaltrends.com, check out the holiday gift guide, everything else that we were talking about as well, and subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or Stitcher, wherever you get yours. And check all this out. So next week, the products of the year will be coming out Wednesday. Just want to make sure.
Best products of
no water was
2017.
harmed in the making of that video. He
Jake just
chimed
said-
in. That's amazing. Yeah.
No water was harmed in that video. So make sure you check that out. All at digitaltrends.com. Juan, thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for
really
the
good
invite.
having
It's been like a year in the making that's finally happened.
Yeah, finally. I probably would not invite me, more, but
No, we
okay.
will.
Oh, yeah.
This has been a ride.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can come out here more often.
We
and do
legit-
this.
I
Yeah.
already
Having a
make
good
inappropriate comments, so
This show is full of it today. Yeah.
We have so much fun doing this every week, anyways. Getting people from the
Yeah.
other offices in here is amazing.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
We gotta have it.
Yeah, and thank you everybody for tuning in. All right, I think that's about it for this week. We're going to go drink tequila. We'll be
Yes.
back next week with another
Salud.
episode.